I'm sweating. I am sweating, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. It is 8:54 Central Time. So I'm gonna be here just for 30 minutes. 30 minutes, hopefully I can stick to that. And I have some of my notes down here, so if you see me looking down, that's what I'm looking at. Welcome, welcome. Get to know me. This is the nurses edition of Get to Know Me. Let me see, guys. I'm sorry. I apologize. Hello. Say hi as you come in, guys. Say hi as you come in. And I'm live both on TikTok and YouTube. So this is the first time I'm doing this. So I'll see how it goes. And I'm using two separate phones. I'm using two separate phones, so I might be scanning back and forth, but I hope you can hear me well. Welcome, welcome. So get to know me. All right. Some of you may know me, some of you may not. Hi, Queen Eastern. Welcome. Rose, welcome. Thank you, guys. If you can just give me some likes as you come in, I will appreciate. I will appreciate. And this is my mini series that I'm gonna be doing, a couple of these, and hopefully I can put an alert earlier so you guys are ready for me and I am ready for you. Today's a video that I should have done yesterday, but because I just wasn't prepared enough, I didn't come on live. But I'm live today, both on YouTube and TikTok. Yes. So this is one of the things I wanted to do, is just to do a couple of series of live videos, and hopefully this is gonna be successful as I'm planning. And of course I need you guys' help to make this realistic. All right, so get to know me. I'm just going to introduce myself to all my new and ongoing followers. My name is Claudine. I am a wife almost of 13 years. Yes, it's going to be 13 years this coming August. A wife of almost 13 years, and I am a proud mother to two girls that we love and cherish so much. I currently live in Houston, Texas, born and raised in Kenya. And I am a nurse practitioner by profession. So this is one of the things that I'll talk about in the near future. I'm a nurse practitioner by profession, and I love what I do. It's challenging, it's rewarding, and above all, it sustains me. So, to my new followers, to my nursing community, to my general community, welcome, welcome, welcome. And we are here for self-growth, to encourage each other and to support each other. So as you come in, please give me some likes, give me some comments. Let me know where you're watching from. I know it's kind of late for a lot of people, or very, very super early for a lot of people, but I hope you can stick around with me because I'm just going to be here for 30 minutes. And my 4 minutes are already up, so I have less than 30 minutes. Okay, so if you're joining me for the first time, please, if you can drop a like or even a comment, just let me know who you are, where you're watching from. And I think there's a mess with my YouTube. Something happened that it's not allowing people to comment. Oops. I don't know what I did there. Anyway, oh, good morning. Yeah, people can comment on my YouTube. Yes, good morning. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. As I said, I'm watching live on both YouTube and TikTok. So if you can just let me know where you're watching from, that would be really, really amazing. Tagamani, thank you so much for joining me, and good morning. It's night over here. Okay, so what's my name? I already told you my name is Claudine. I'm a nurse practitioner by profession. I'm a wife and I am a mother of two. So, how long have I been doing nursing? So, I've been in nursing since, let me back up a little bit. I have been in healthcare since 2006. Yes, 2006. No, I'll take that back. Since 2007. I started out as a CNA, which is Certified Nursing Assistant. I moved on to LVN and then I moved on to registered nurse, and right now I'm practicing as a nurse practitioner. So I've been a nurse practitioner since 2019, so a little over 6 years, and it's a rewarding profession. It's challenging, as I mentioned earlier. And one of the things about being a nurse practitioner is that you are challenged every single day. There's a lot of people who look down onto us, who look up onto us, down, up, whatever it is. As in those who are looking at us as role models, as people they can come to for professional opinion or even just for advice. And being a nurse practitioner in my current role, I can say it comes with its own perks of challenges as well. Not just the profession itself, but also the environment. And I'm not going to say exactly what I do right here for personal reasons, but it is one of those environments that not everybody may be comfortable working at, but every single day it comes with its own challenges. And as you walk into this kind of environment, you can get into those moments where you question yourself if you're doing the right thing or the wrong thing. And one of those things is knowing that you're doing something that's making a change in people's lives. All right, so let's get a little bit more personal and fun because that's my life is not just about work. So, do I have any pets? No, I do not have any pets. Do I plan to have any? At this point, no. But I know my kids, my youngest, for some time, she's wanted like some kind of pet. That's something that we can consider down the line, but at this point, no pets, not in the plan. What kind of music do you love? I love gospel music, praise and worship, anything with some good beats. I love to sing. I used to sing in the choir. I still sing, enjoy singing, but my voice is not the same. Over the years, things have changed because I don't sing as much as I used to, but it's one of those things that I still love. The other kind of music I love is just soft blues, some musicals, things to put me in that relaxation mode. So definitely that's something I enjoy, music as a whole. And up to now, I'm still hoping one day I can learn how to play one of the instruments. So definitely it's still on my to-do list. Do I have any car? Yes, I do have a car. I need a car to get me to places from point A to point B and to and from work. So definitely yes. So if you're joining me, let me know where you're watching me from, both on YouTube and TikTok. Please let me know where you're watching from. And please give me some likes, some comments, and let me know where you're watching from, any questions you want to ask me, because this is my first get to know me video, and then I'll move on to other ones. So let me know where you're watching from and give me some likes. Hi Esther, hi Mer, hi Mary. Thank you guys so much for joining. All right, so what's your favorite food or guilty pleasure snack? Let me start with my guilty pleasure snack. I love chocolates. Chocolates is my to-go-to guilty snacks, and it's one of those things that, let me take that back. So I love chocolates, but I also love the crunchy chocolates. So anything that you put in your mouth and you'll be like, that's one of my favorites. When it comes to favorite foods, I do have a lot of favorite foods. Nothing specific, but I have a lot of favorite foods ranging from the traditional foods that we cook from Kenya and just some locals. Yes, so favorite foods, I have a lot. A book or a show you're into right now. So right now, I am watching, would you imagine? I'm watching Young Sheldon. Yes, I'm watching Young Sheldon. And it's one of those movies that it gives you the vibe to get to know what this little boy is all about. He's young, he's smart, he's always inquisitive, but at the same time, he doesn't have a filter. He'll let you know exactly what's in his mind. So if you want to watch Young Sheldon, watch it from Netflix, and I'm sure you'll enjoy it if you're that kind of person. But at the same time, I've had people say that he's annoying, and I understand where you're coming from. At some point, even me, I'm like, you're a little annoying. You're young, but you're a little annoying. So yes, so that's one of the things I am in right now. One of the shows. A couple of my shows are on break right now. So I love medical shows. So what the first one that I love watching is Grey's Anatomy. I've watched Grey's Anatomy from season 1. And right now we are on break. I'm waiting for it to come back. You know how they live in suspense? That's exactly what happened. So Grey's Anatomy is my other show that I love. Um, 911 is on break right now. It's also one of my favorite shows. They killed our captain, so it's never been the same. But I hear rumors that it's gonna come back in dreams, and even like even if he comes back in dreams, it's not the same, right? It's not going to be the same as him being there, expecting to see him every episode he comes around. Hi Jerry, hi Patricia. Thank you guys for joining. Please give me some likes. Hi the OPEC. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining. So this is just a quick get to know me video, and I'm just kind of here for about 30 minutes. I have a few more minutes to go, so we're gonna be on here for a little bit. And my next thing is, what's my dream travel destination? Right now, I want to go to Paris. I also want to go to Greece. So those are my top two right now. And I love traveling. Traveling is one of the things I enjoy doing. And if I had an opportunity, I will be just taking off every single time. But you know, life has to continue, things have to be done. But that's one of my dream travel destinations. Am I an introvert or extrovert? I consider myself both. Depends on the situation, depends on my environment, depends on who I am with. Sometimes you'll just find me in my little corner, just alone, quiet. But sometimes you'll also find me chit-chatting with everybody. So I'm that kind of person that studies the room. And if I see my vibe around, I'll join. If I don't see any vibe around, I'll stick to myself. But also, if somebody I know is in the room, I'll join them and then I'll join their group. So I consider myself both. So, what do you want to hear more about me? So, let's go a little deeper. Here's where I want to be real with you. So, what are some of the challenges I've overcome recently? I will say emotional distress. I went through a moment a couple of weeks ago, and I never got to share it with a lot of people. Some people experienced it just based on the environment I was in, but those who didn't experience it, I didn't share it. So that's one of the things I went through, an emotional turmoil where I questioned myself. I questioned a lot of the decisions. I questioned what I am doing, why I am doing it, if I need to step aside and just look for something else. But that's one of the main recent challenges I went through. And what's one thing you're working on, whether it's personally or professionally? Um, Let me start professionally. I'm working on expanding my boundaries. Yes, I feel like in this little corner that I've been in for so long, to the point that I feel kind of stuck in a way. But at the same time, I know that I have the abilities to move forward. I have the capabilities to do more research and to get out there in a better way. But I feel like I'm just in that little bubble. So that's one of the things, one of the goals I'm working on. And then personally, I'm working on my health. Um, I'm getting back on the exercise. I'm not good at that. Let me not lie to you guys. I'm not good at exercising. When it comes to exercising, I'm very, very impatient. So I start and then I can't keep going on. I can't be very consistent for like a week or two, and then I just fall into this stage. So that's one thing I'm still trying to work on. And when I talk about my health as well, I'm trying to get to bed a little early. Like tomorrow I have to work, so that means I need to get to bed soon. It's about 9:10 Central Time. So my goal on the nights when I'm working is to aim for 6 hours of sleep. 6 hours of sleep to me is enough. The days when I'm not working, I aim for 7 to 8 hours. Ideally, as adults, we need to aim for 7 to 9 hours of sleep. That's the ideal sleep time. That's the goal. So, and that's the other thing I'm working on. My personal health. When it comes to personal health, I'm looking at being physically fit, being emotionally fit, especially as a nurse practitioner, psychiatry to be specific. If I'm going to be guiding my patients on emotional health and wealth, I need to be there myself. Of course, we are humans. We face different challenges. We face different aspects of life. But at the same time, we've got to arm ourselves with information such that when I tell my patient to go do meditation, I should be able to do that myself as well. So that's another thing I'm working on. Emotional health, physical health, my spiritual health as well. Um, the fact that I don't get to go to church every week as I want to is one of the things that's really put me down lately. I was born and raised in church, and going to church is one of the things I believe in. So having to work every other weekend means I don't get to go to church every weekend that I need to go. So I'm still working on that, and I hope one day, ways will open up for me and I can get back to my routine. So how do you stay grounded on hard days? Staying focused. And today when I was driving to work, I listened to KSBJ. That's my channel that I have in the morning. And this is because they always come up, they're always live on talking about life and family health. And one of the things they were talking about today was about how to deal with tough situations. And they gave an example of Tiger Woods. And one of the ways in which he dealt with this situation was to give it like a 10 to 15 second time frame. To me, I was like, 10 to 15 seconds, that's too little. But it also depends on what's going on. So I try to put myself in a positive situation where I know this situation can be uncomfortable, but what next? You're not going to be stuck there completely. It's just like a little child when they're getting to learn how to walk. They get up, they fall, they get up, they fall. Eventually, they get up and they're gone. So that's the same thing I look at. You have to keep pushing yourself past your limits, knowing what your goal is, knowing what your future is, knowing that the current situation might be temporary. If that's the case, what's next? It's like getting wet and sitting in a dark area. Once you're wet, you need to get out in the light so you can dry up. And if there's no light at the moment, you need to get out of those wet clothing so you are dry. Sitting in your wet clothes will put you through different challenges, including health challenges. So, in other words, how do I stay grounded on hard days? just looking at the long-term goal and the short-term goals all as a whole. Who inspires you and why? So this is very bold and very broad. There's a lot of people who inspire me. There are a lot of people I look into, and I hope that one day I can be like them. There are people who I turn to and ask questions when I'm in need, and just get to pick a piece of their brain. And that's one of the things that's been part of me for some time. Not too long ago, I was listening to a YouTube video, and one of the things I listen to mostly is motivational videos. And the speaker was talking about getting 5 people who are better than you in different ways and having them as your contact people. And these are people you can check in with every month, every week, just so you can see how they're doing and they can check on you how you're doing. So basically building a cycle of friends that you can work with. As an individual and as a family, we have our cycle of friends. We have people we meet regularly with and just hang out, learn from each other, talk about different things. And that's one of the things that you can do too. Get people who inspire you. You know what they say? If you crawl with the ducks, you will crawl with the ducks. And if you fly with the eagles, you will fly as well. So make sure you choose your cycle of friends wisely, people who inspire you, and people who will not bring you down. So my topic today is get to know me. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Get to know me tag, and I am doing a series of live videos starting today. And of course, I'll take a break in between, but my goal is to do 30 minutes to an hour. Today I'm doing just a 30-minute video, and I have just a few more minutes left here. So if you're joining me, welcome. In the process here, if you'll just tap your screens as you come in and get me those likes, please, guys. Oh my goodness, nobody has given me a like on TikTok. So I'm live on both YouTube and TikTok. So if you're watching me from TikTok, my name is Claudine DNP, and on YouTube I have Health and Lifestyle with Claudine. So I'm planning to merge my name, so I have one username across my channel, so it's much easier to find me on all of them. So I'm still working on that, and hopefully soon I'll have the name that I'll synchronize with all my channels. So when you look for me in TikTok or from YouTube or from Facebook, you'll find me using one name. So yes. God's daughter, thank you so much for joining me on TikTok. All right, so the next thing, let's do some community check-in Q&A. So how do I balance my work and life? This can be challenging, especially depending on what you prioritize. My priority ideally is my family, and that's it. I love work, I love what I do, it sustains me, but my family comes first. And there are times when you have to do the same. You have to do the same. So that's one thing in which that has helped me balance life. You have to really reprioritize yourself. So there's faith, family, work, and whatever other things you have in your cycle, depending on how you prioritize them. So work-life balance. I believe in taking days off. That's non-negotiable. I take my vacations, I take my sick time if I need to. And I keep saying you don't have to be sick to take your time off. If you have your appointments lined up, that warrants a sick day off. If you're going to be spending half of your day off running around to appointments, then why not choose your sick day so you don't feel like your day off is wasted? At the same time, make sure you're taking time away from work. You need time to rejuvenate, recoup, rebuild yourself physically, rebuild yourself emotionally, rebuild yourself in different aspects. So definitely making sure you take some time off, whether for yourself, whether for your family. That's one thing in which you balance yourself. When you're at work, make sure you're taking your breaks. I don't know how people work for 12 hours without break. I don't know. Maybe if you know, let me know. Because as somebody who works 12-hour shifts, I believe in taking break. You need to take a break, not just for your physical health, but also for your emotional health. You need time to just recharge a little bit and then come back and continue with work. Because if you are exhausted, especially mentally, emotionally, you can snap on somebody real quick. And you probably don't mean it, but it's because you're tired. So definitely taking breaks. Another way in which I balance my life and work is making sure I eat well and I stay hydrated. One thing I don't do is leave my house without food. Even if it's just cereal and milk, I know I have my cereal and milk and I can step out and go eat it, get full and come back. I have a bottle of water that I carry with me to work. It's 2 liters and that keeps me going the whole shift. You can never go wrong with the hydration. You can never go wrong with that. Unless contraindicated, you need to hydrate. Yes, hydration is key. So, how do I stay motivated? Having my goals and just staying focused. Yes. And when we talk about goals, you need to have your short-term goals and your long-term goals. And one thing I know is that once you have your goals, you'll keep working towards them, staying focused, having a goal. Because when you have a goal, you know you have something to work towards, right? It's just like a little kid. When you give them an apple, no, let me not use an apple. When you give them a candy and you put it a little further, you tell them, I want you to come and get it. They're gonna work so hard, especially if they're learning to crawl or whatever. They're gonna work hard to get to that candy because they know the benefit of the candy. It's sweet. It could be nutritious, yes. So what keeps me motivated is having a target, having a goal. And make sure your goals are achievable. You don't want to put a goal that's going to discourage you. Small, steady goals. That's the way to go. So what advice would I give to my younger me? Start early. Start early. There's a lot of things that I'm learning right now as an adult that I never learned as a young person. And if I was to go back in time, definitely that's one thing I'll do. Start early, whether it's education, whether it's investment, whether it's family. And family is negotiable. People are at different stages of life. But if you're in that position to start early, why not? So starting early is the way to go. The other thing that I would advise myself is make sure you ask questions when possible. You know, we get to a point where we believe that we can do everything by ourselves and avoid asking questions. There are people out there who know way more than we do. And it doesn't hurt to ask somebody a question. The least they can do is not tell you the answer or give you a portion of the information. Another way in which I would advise my younger self is keep learning. There's a lot of wealth of knowledge out here that you can learn from, whether it's courses, whether it's going back to school, learning from entrepreneurs, learning from people who are in the same category like you. So let's say as a nurse practitioner, I still learn a lot from my fellow nurse practitioners, from the fellow doctors I work with, and it's one of those things that you have to keep doing. The other thing is make sure you have a supportive community. Yes, and that's one thing I've had from nursing school up to this point. I try to keep a supportive community. And these are people that you not only hang out with during tough times, but also during good times. You hang out together, you eat together, you laugh together, and life continues. So definitely, that's one of the ways in which I can encourage my younger self. So my 30 minutes are up, but I want to see if anybody has a question. Anybody has a question? Mango Subprime, thank you so much for joining me from North Korea. Yes, thank you so much. Thank you so much. So I was live on both TikTok and YouTube, and I hope to come back tomorrow again, same time. My goal was to start at 8:30 Central Time, but I think I started a few minutes to 9. But I hope I can come back tomorrow a little earlier. And tomorrow I'm going to level it up and talk to you guys about my journey from CNA to NP, from CNA to nurse practitioner. So make sure you join me tomorrow. I'll try and put out information a little earlier, just so it's out there. But I hope this has been helpful. Hopefully you got to know who I am. And just a little bit for those who joined late, my name is Claudine. I am a nurse practitioner by profession. I am a mother, I'm a wife, and I am from Texas, the big state. Yes. So it's about 9:25 Central Time, and I am going to go ahead and sign out. So if you can join me tomorrow, please do, and I'll really appreciate. Let me see if I can invite somebody. Northwest Pulse CPR. All right, guys. So I'm gonna go ahead and sign out. So plan to join me tomorrow around 8, hopefully 8:30, before 9 o'clock Central Time. And I'm off on Friday, so I'll probably be on for a little bit longer tomorrow. Today was just an introduction, and I'm super excited for this journey. So if you're not following me, please consider following me. Subscribe to my channel, and we can continue learning together. Yes. All right, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and sign out. Peace out. You see my sign back there? That's my peace out sign. Yes, and thank you guys so much. Thank you for everybody who joined, and I hope to see you next time.